COVID-19 has become part of our vocabularies now, and it will probably stay for a while. But some people are so overwhelmed by it that they let it rule their lives, or for some, it even ruins their lives. While those of us who believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ should not let that happen. Although COVID 19 was not as prevalent here as it is in your country, but we still saw a sign of it because the government called for churches and schools to close their doors. And when that happened, um, some people started losing their momentum as far as how many times they would worship the Lord or they would read their Bibles. Yet, what it did is that it started making some people focus on communion, not communion at the church, but help for one another. At that time, we raised some money from our church people to help the most needy. And then we collected some clothes that we distributed. The high school students had the hardest time because when COVID started, they were getting ready to take their exam during the summertime, and here they were, they couldn't learn in a classroom. So what happened is that we adapted to the situation to where our teachers were learning to teach using video production for the first time. And thank God those students took their exams, which is pretty much equivalent to the SAT test, and they all succeeded. So God really blessed us during the COVID-19 pandemic. But the most challenging time for us was when they said we needed to close the churches and the schools, where they did not want big crowds to be gathered together, but we don't have grocery stores, so people still had to go to the marketplace anyway. But God protected us because to this day I haven't heard so many COVID-19 cases around Trika. So when we couldn't go to church, I decided to start a project in my own yard. So where I planted a garden, and people started coming, and when they saw that, they were inspired by it, and they started growing gardens in their yards as well. So that if we don't have help coming from other countries, then people could survive, which is something that we didn't see before COVID-19. So let us not lose sight of God's hands at work in our lives, because He can turn any circumstance to our benefit.